interstate. I still go down to Provo to have my car inspected. There's a nice state inspection place that is run by the state and isn't a mechanic shop, so I actually trust it as far as, like, did my car pass? Oh, how? Look at that. Conveniently it didn't pass and you can do the work to fix it. I don't like taking my car to a regular mechanic shop for state inspection, for emissions inspection. So I still drive down there. And they're really quick, since that's all they do, and it doesn't take long. It's literally, I'm in and out in like 15 minutes, 20 tops. Barely have time to browse TikTok before it's done. But then when I was driving back, I noticed there was a temple I wasn't aware of, not far from the interstate. I'm not Mormon anymore. I am definitely of the atheist category now, but I don't begrudge anyone their religious preferences, as long as they don't infringe on the rights of other people, which, sadly, a lot of religious history has done exactly that. Oops. Oh, you know what? I can just pull the metal. I'm thinking old school here. I don't need to actually... Yeah, that's almost... No, it's 2,667. So yeah, that'll be 1,300 metal ingots. That is not a bad little get. Oh, Temple Square. I didn't know they were doing a new one up there. I haven't been to Salt Lake City in a while. It's only like a 45-minute drive up the road, if there's no traffic. But I just don't have a reason to go up there anymore, unless it's for a concert. On the rare occasion that one of the hard rock or metal bands that I like is stopping in Utah, it's always in Salt Lake City. One of the small venues is not far from Temple Square either. But there's enough tall buildings that I probably still wouldn't notice it unless I went looking for it. That poor dinosaur. What do you mean, my Anki that I keep picking up and dropping? Alright. You know what? Let's put all the metal... Nope, that didn't work. You know what? Let's just pull all. Metal. Anki. All of it. And then we'll take half of it and put it in the other one. And then half of this stack. Put it in this one. This is going to take a while to cook. Make this a proper single stack again. So it's roughly 1 wood per ingot, which means half of the number of metal is what I need in wood. So I need to pull like 500 wood into each of these. I should have that. Yeah, I do. 500. Pull. And then 500 and pull. I mean, I'll be able to use the extra wood that gets turned into charcoal, but since I don't have a good long neck yet, and none of the bosses on this map, which are the island bosses, the dragon, broodmother, and Megapithecus, or Mesopithecus? I forget what the name of the boss version was. Gigantopithecus? I don't remember. No, Gigantopithecus are the Yetis or Bigfoots that walk around the redwoods. Oh, so the famous one that's in Temple Square. I thought it would be weird to build another temple right there next to like the most famous one. Oh. Yeah, whenever they, well, I don't know. Usually whenever they build a new temple, they have there's a window where visitors that aren't, it's a whole explanation, that aren't in a certain tier of the religion can enter and just tour the place before it becomes officially dedicated and starts doing their ceremonies and such there. And then no one can enter after that unless they have approval from their local bishop. They literally have card-carrying temple temple licenses, essentially, that say they're allowed to get in. But there is a window where you can tour and visit before they dedicate it and start using it for religious ceremonies. I had heard they had stopped it's just so expensive for them to build the temples, like the big, pretty ones, that they just decided to start making smaller, more functional type ones that were less expensive to make. So it would be rare that they would make a really big one. I bet they might, when it's a new one in a new country that doesn't have one, they might make it a big one to kind of mark the occasion or whatever. I don't know. I don't keep up with that stuff anymore since I left the church. Actually, technically, I'm still on the member role, but they don't bother me anymore. Except the occasional person that thinks they can reclaim a lost soul and wants to come chat with me and see how I'm doing. I'm like, dude, I believe in science now. If it's provable, I believe it now. Wait, that, oh no. Yeah, that's done. Anyway, sorry to talk about religion for a bit there. It's most of my history, from 10 until I was 40. I was a member in good standing. As I sip my tea that they can't have, caffeinated tea. Although, a lot of people do. Anyway. Anyway, back to this lovely map. In the area around it, like, the temple is really pretty. And back when I had girlfriends in the past, we used to go see the Christmas lights in Temple Square, which was really pretty. Because they would decorate the whole area, the whole block around the temple. In the middle of town, they would decorate with fancy Christmas lights, and where the whole tree and every little branch was wrapped with lights. Very, very pretty. And then there's the Great Salt Lake that's nearby. That's really cool. That's where they do land speed records when they want to break the record for the fastest speed on land. That's where they go because of the way it was formed. It's perfectly flat, which is important when you're going like 200 miles an hour and trying to stay on the ground. But it's also just trippy because it's the salt flats. You know, it used to be a giant portion of the salt lake that dried up, and all of the salt from the water, as it evaporated over time, just crystallized and formed this white crust over the ground that can be pretty. It's actually kind of pretty, and like I said, super duper flat. In fact, they did one of the scenes for Pirates of the Caribbean there. In the second movie, when Davy Jones' locker had Jack and his boat, the Black Pearl, and he was pulling the boat through the sand or whatever, they filmed that out on the salt flats. Because it's such a unique... In fact, a lot of movies, they will film scenes that are supposed to be like alien landscapes because it's so unnatural looking. The Great Salt Lake, or the salt flats near it, are so unnatural looking, or alien looking, that a lot of movies will do, you know, give it a red tint and say it's Mars, or, you know, it's some alien planet or something. Especially like low budget movies, you know, where they can't just do CGI. They'll go there to film. Because you don't need the CGI when the place already looks trippy. Oh yeah, absolutely. And there's some nice scenic places like around Temple Square and some tall buildings. One of them's really expensive, has a really expensive restaurant at the top. I forget the name of it. But the view is nice from up there as well. But also that's one of the nice things about the mountains is you can drive pretty much all the major mountains have a road that goes at least part way up them, that you can drive up and find a lookout point without too much problem at all. And there's a million of them. And the view can be really pretty. That's a little far for an RG. It doesn't fly that fast. Did I put levels into speed on this one? No, I started to, but it's only 2%. It's not enough. So, let's put down some more... Yes. Put down some more foundations and whatnot. All the rocks and trees here have respawned, so I may as well do a nice round of... Let's see, we don't need the Yankee out. 2 blueprints, 2 more scuba tanks, and a couple more fur pieces. Yeah, I got some. But some of this scuba stuff I might send back to the center. Since I've already beaten the bosses on the center on Alpha multiple times, I allow myself to bring whatever I want there. Just a personally imposed rule that I have to beat the bosses. And the different tiers unlock different stuff, and then Alpha unlocks whatever I want. Like that Ziphinactus, the X-Fish for short. I tamed them and bred them there to see how good they were, but I couldn't find a blueprint, and I just found a blueprint for them today. For a half-decent saddle for them. So that's nice. Okay, so we need more stone. We ran out of stone. Excuse me. Yeah, and the housing prices have just been skyrocketing. Apparently it's a fairly popular place for people in California to move. Especially with the tech companies moving in here, it's drawn a lot of people from California and just more higher price of living states have chosen to come here. And it's driven up the housing market wildly. It's outrageous at the moment. And it's unlikely to get any better anytime soon either. COVID shut down house building for a while, and that just made us fall more behind on housing, which just drove the prices up. And then when the houses were selling for more than the renting, because the check or balance on renting is, you know, if you charge too much for rent, then people will just go buy a house. But when buying a house has gone up, then that means they can raise the rent, and everywhere has. So rent is way higher than it used to be. Like 5 years ago, it used to be. Like pre-COVID. So it's kind of nuts right now. But my roommate is looking for a place, and if he finds one, then, you know, I'll rent a room from him. I don't have any illusions of being able to buy a house, probably ever. Child support for 16 years or so, through my prime earning years, has kind of destroyed the dream of house ownership, at least in a realistic sense. Not unless I'm going to be satisfied with like a trailer or something. Which honestly, the only problem with that is the location, because it tends to be a seedy area to live. As much as I enjoy My Name is Earl, the show, I don't enjoy actually living in a trailer park. Too much threat of people breaking in and stealing your shit. And I've lived in lower income areas here in Utah, and I've had my car broken into multiple times. Different cars at different points of my living here. Right now I live in a place that's not high-end, but it's not terribly low either. So as long as I don't do something dumb, like my neighbors, my previous neighbors left an e-bike out on the porch, and we're in a fourplex, and my front door and my neighbor's front door faces the backyard, which really no one can see from out on the street, and so they figured they were safe just leaving their e-bike there, and nope, it got stole. And stole quick. Like, I think it was there for a couple of days before somebody stole it. So, I know there are people in the neighborhood, probably neighbors, like within a few houses, because you would have to be in order to see our back porch, that will steal things. You just have to be smart about it. Wish it wasn't so, but it's so. Be smart, people. Don't leave stuff visible in the seat of your car, passenger seat, back seat, anything that's viewable from the car window of any value, because they will take it, or you're just rolling the dice on them taking it. That's your dad warning for the day. Listen here, kids. You hide that shit with a blanket. If you gotta leave it in your car. You leave that iPad in the back seat and you're asking for a broken window and a missing iPad. I guess unless you're living in a really, really nice neighborhood or something, but Zor can't afford to live in them places, so Zor has to be smart. Maybe that's why I don't like playing PvP games. Like PvP survival games. Like, I've had IRL people steal my shit. So, like, to have internet people steal my internet shit is triggering. I think I may have stumbled across the reason why I'm so averse to it. PvP survival games. But yeah, since both of my kids are here, I don't have any. I'm not looking to move away. Even though, I mean, I can't really see my daughter because she's just radio silent. She seems to have picked up my antisocialness IRL to like a double or triple degree, or paired with anxiety and stuff. She just kind of hides in her mom's basement and plays Minecraft with her friends on Discord, and that's her whole life. I don't know how she can keep doing that forever, but I have no way to do anything about it. She's super defensive if it comes up, so I'm just there to help if she needs it. And my son I hang out with like every weekend or every other weekend. He's 21, she's 25. So yeah. I don't like the idea of moving away where I can't. Like, even if they had the desire to see me, it would require plane tickets and vacation time from work and stuff like that. Like, I don't want to enter that area until they're both basically, you know, off doing their own thing and don't have time for me anymore. I will be the supportive dad until I go down kicking and screaming to my death. Alright, so we have lots of wood. Probably not enough thatch. We're going to run out of thatch first, I think. But this is enough to make quite a bit. Enough of this downer IRL talk. Zor, you know better than this. Okay. Ha! This mammoth is level 2 desert bearing, meaning that it gets a nice discount on, how much is it? It should be more than 15%. 22.5% weight discount. Silk, salt, cactus sap, they don't weigh very much, but the sand and sulfur can really add up, especially the sand. But since you can't gather sand or any or sulfur, it would just make like, now granted, I could take it to the desert and just gather a buttload of sap, cactus sap, and if I found the right flowers, silk. The silk is almost weightless, though. That's pointless to even worry about. Oh yeah, foundations. Come on, craft. Found. Let's copy that so I don't have to type it every time. I think I can only make 5 or 6 at a time. 5. But yeah, how's everybody? Oh wow, my shirt is like actually shows up on camera from Rick and Morty. I need to catch up on that. There's at least one season I haven't seen, maybe 2. The last one I saw with the season ender was like one of the alternate Morty's doing a whole multiverse thing. I think was the last one I saw. Hey, it's Ira! What? Ira! Irari! Rar! Irar! Rar! Lovely human, also streams, plays all kinds of games. She plays some Ark as well. Let's give her a shout out. I've dubbed her one of my internet daughters, like Static Reaction is also people I care about very much. There we go. Hey, Grex. Wait, I think I saw Grex earlier. So Grex is probably peeking to let Ira know that he's there. We see you, Grex. You cannot hide. You have so many pets, Ira, that, you know, I had to alter your name to sound like some critter was saying it. She's also got a cute doggo that is invisible in the darkness behind her while she's streaming. Except in the Halloween stream where he was sitting up, like proper up, next to her, and his eyes were luminescent, and his body was invisible because he's all black. It was very cute. And then she has at least 2 cats, or is it 3? Oh, guys, Grex said the void. Yeah. Is it 2 dogs, 2 cats, or 1 dog, 3 cats? 3 cats. Okay, I thought so. They will, some of them at least, 1 or 2 of them will regularly come in and be visible on stream. Her orange kitty likes to lay in her lap and destroy her legs while getting pets. But yeah, just the other day I was doing, she did a community games kind of day, and I played some golf with friends and Uno, like the Steam online Uno, with other peeps like Brindy and Maddie and others. Oh, and Steamroll Joel, of course. It was a good opportunity to see Zor frustrated enough to swear as I was getting bonked and flattened and turned into weird shapes and stuff in Golf with Friends. I wish I could have a kitty. I want one so bad. The heck? I may get a kitty someday. It would have to be after my roommate finds a house, and then I would ask him if he would be okay with it. If nothing else, he'll get a dog once he gets a house. That's one of his big things about getting a house, is he wants to have a dog, and he doesn't want the landlord to tell him that he can't, or to pay some dumb deposit, or any of that jazz. So at the very least, I can steal his dog. Steal his dog with love and attention to where it loves me more than him. As is the plan. I'm so scatterbrained. It's only 11. Wake up. Crafting. Oh, Ira, do you want me to show you this base? It's so cool. To find it, all you have to do is chase drops in the snow biome, because there's a drop right here in the courtyard, and you can't miss this place when you land here. Or have you already seen it? Okay, we'll give you a little tour real quick. It's also at the top of a sort of mountain. Kind of weird. There's multiple paths that kind of go up to the top, but they're like little mountain pass type pathways. So where there's like rocks on both sides and stuff coming up this little mountain place. So it's got these natural walls with some built-in, pretty tall walls too. With these, in two of the directions, they've got like 3 little natural openings. You can plug those with gateways real easy. Lots of trees, rocks, and bushes. A few metal nodes in here as well. We'll give you a look of the whole building here while it's still light outside. So you can see the lion statue up top. There's quite a few lion statues around. I think this is the front entrance here with the pillars leading in.